So what's going on, y'all? Just leaving the gym, so kind of winded, but I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all this message because I know I said I was gonna do it, and I want to hurry up and get it out. So the things that I've done, that I've been through, that helped me get to this point where I'm basically relatively successful in this cleaning business. Basically, there's a lot of different things, but the number one thing that I don't think I've ever mentioned this really enough, if ever, is that I had people who kind of mentor me, and I never really had like mentors, like, because I'm not a fan of mentors. I'm not the type of person that I ask somebody, okay, you be my mentor, and I try to learn everything that they teach me and all of that. But what I did have was like people around me who allowed me to work for them and help me gain experience. Like, let me tell you, like, when I first bought into the first franchise I ever had, I called around franchise owner. You know, like I tell y'all to do before you buy in with any franchise company. You need to call that list of franchise owners that they give you and ask them what their reviews are, stuff like that. So I did that to several different franchise owners, and I remember the first franchise owner. Real quick, I'm gonna tell you this story. The one guy was an older guy, and he was telling me it was a good idea, blah blah. And so then he asked me how old I was. And I told him I was 19, and he busted out laughing. He said, "Oh, hell yeah, you do it. You got plenty of time to mess up." And so when he said it, it hit me a couple of different ways. Like, one part, it was like, plenty of time to mess up. So you saying this is a bad, like, I'm gonna mess up? I mean, like, why would you say that? That's the one thing that was going through my head. Then the other thing that was going through my head, though, is I just kept that in the back of my mind all the time throughout my whole life, is that man told me I got plenty of time to mess up. You know what I mean? Like, so in other words, don't worry about if you fuck up or not, because apparently you're going to have time to make it up. And so me keeping that in my back of my mind all this time actually paid off, because if it taught me to do a lot of different things fast. And that's why I'm still in my 20s and able to be a business consultant and be able to know so much, is because I've done so much. Like, I done fucked up so many businesses and started so many businesses, done so many different opportunities, that it helped me to learn quickly. You know what I mean? But anyway, so how I got to the mentor part. So I called franchise owner after franchise owner, and I finally got to this one lady, Miss Verdana. She kind of took me under her wing. Like, when I first called her, she told me that, did you tell them that somebody referred you to this company? And I was like, no, I didn't tell them. She said, well, can you tell them that I referred you so that I can get the $500 referral bonus that they do? And I was like, yeah, I can do that, since you came straight out and asked me like that. You know what I mean? Now, if I was smart, what I would have did was made her split it half with me, because if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't get anything. You know what I mean? So I would have, and if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have got anything, because I wouldn't know nothing about the program. So if I was smart, I would have made her split half. But you live and you learn. So anyway, so I did that for her. And then she asked me, was I cleaning accounts yet? Like, while I was waiting for them to find me accounts after I bought in, she let me come work for her. And I worked for her for free, just for the experience. So it was a win for her because she gave free labor. It was a win for me because I'm getting experience, getting out on the field and looking at it from a owner's perspective and not just a worker's perspective. Like, I worked, and another thing too, even before that, I did this business when I was, I used to clean when I was like 17 years old, when I was still in high school, working for another guy. And he was the reason that I even got into this line of business, because he had a franchise with Jenny King, and this guy was doing so good. He had the high-rise condo on the water downtown here in my city. So he, like, when I seen him, I was like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I just knew I wanted to be some type of businessman. I knew I was gonna have some type of money, and I knew that once I got towards the end of my high school, that I wasn't gonna go to college. And I realized that you didn't need a college degree to be a business owner. So that's when I knew that this was the line of business that I was going to do. So fast back forward to Miss Verdana. She was, she took me under her wing, and she used to, like, when I used to clean and stuff, she'll come back and check behind me and let me walk through with her. And she'll show me, like, the detail stuff that I would miss, that the franchise company would look for if they were checking behind me, and also that the customer might see that I didn't see. You know what I mean? So that really helped me a lot, that experience. Then after her, I met another guy, Mr. Hardy, who I started to work for. He was paying me to work for him. So basically, I was subcontracted for him. So I was a franchise owner, but then I also was subcontract for other franchise owners just to get my money up. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't getting a lot of contracts then because I was a horrible franchise owner. I was a horrible cleaner still. You know what I mean? Even though I was getting taught, I had mentors, I was still bad. I always wanted a shortcut, and I was lazy. I always been lazy. I was kind of, I pretty much can say I was born lazy. You know what I mean? Then I had to learn to be a hard worker. You know what I mean? But I'm not naturally a hard worker. And my laziness is good because it teaches me to find more effective ways to do stuff. But over time, as an entrepreneur, I learned that I can't be lazy and be successful in entrepreneurship. So, and I see that in my son too. He's lazy. And so I'm having to try to teach him how to break out of that laziness. But anyway, so once I finished with Mr. McDonald, I met Mr. Hardy, and he was also franchise owner. I'm working for him, and he did the exact same thing. He showed me detailed stuff, how to get behind the computer screens with all the dust. You got to get a extended duster and reach all the way back in there. So he would show me. You know what I mean? And by that time, I was actually a good cleaner. The problem was I had ran out of contracts with the company was Coverall then that I was affiliated with. And I ran out of contracts because they took them all. And then I had sold the ones that I had because I had got my barbershop by then and I wanted to focus on the barbershop. But I was out of accounts, and once the barbershop went out of business, then I was just stuck with the contracts that I was subbing for him, and that was all I had. But by that point, I was a good cleaner because I realized that, damn, I'm a franchise owner, he a franchise owner. If he put me in here, you know, I can't let him down. And I'm like, I'm on the same level as him, supposedly. So how am I getting in here and not clean right? And that was when I really learned. But by that time, I had already messed up. So that's one of the keys to my success is I had people around me. Like, I kind of had mentors. And so that's what you want to do. If you're going to get in this line of business, you need to find people in your area that will allow you to work for them. Whether it's for free or whether you're going to get paid. But don't do it for the check. I don't care if they're paying you minimum wage. Just do it so you can get your feet wet, so you can know what you're doing and get that experience. Get up under that person. Ask them about the business. Let them know that you're trying to get your own. Most of us don't have a problem with teaching you everything we know if we know you're trying to get in this line of business. You know what I mean? So that's number one. Find you some mentors and get your experience up. Do it for the experience, not for the check. The second thing that helped me was you gotta get you a Gina. You gotta get you a Gina. Like, that's gonna be one of my new trademarks, man. You gotta get you a Gina because my fiance Regina, she been there since day one, grinding it out with me. And it helps because, number one, when she's working a job and I'm working a job, or running my business and she working a job, we can split the home bills. Like, the personal bills ain't as hard trying to start a business when you got a partner. You know what I mean? Somebody that's helping you to step away. Then she will come out and help me clean too. So now you're talking about free labor. You know what I mean? And it's better because this person has some sort of equity. Like, they, even though it might not be on paper, they might not actually be an owner with you, but they have equity in the sense of it's helping y'all as a team to be effective and to make money and make sure you do everything right. You know what I mean? So you got to get you a Gina. You know what I mean? And whether you're a male or female, but you got to find that rider that's going to ride with you and that's going to help you grow your business. You know what I mean? That's going to ride with you through the rough, through the bad, and that's going to be able to hold it down when you ain't got no customers. And maybe they can, with their job, maybe they can just, even if they don't make enough to pay all the bills, they can hold down the rent. You know what I mean? They can keep a roof over your head and transportation and lights on. You know what I mean? So you want to find that partner if you can. It makes things a lot easier. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have a partner to ride with them through their journey, and everybody don't need one, but it definitely makes it easier. You know what I mean? I heard Grant Cardone talking about that too. Then the third thing that helped me be successful is it kind of go hand in hand with the first thing. I fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, just do it. Start early and start often. Like go. Get out there and fuck up. I mean, go fail. Fail over and over and over until you finally get it right. You know what I mean? Like, I started my first cleaning business. It didn't work. Then I opened up a barbershop. It didn't work. Then I opened a second barbershop. It didn't work. You know what I mean? And I did network marketing for a little while and then some experience in that. Then Did a little bit of property management. I did anything you could think of. Like, I probably did it. You know what I mean? I done so many temp service jobs. I done had damn near everything that you could think of. I basically done it to get my experience up, and I did it fast. I had a lot of jobs in a short span of time. My resume didn't look good. You know what I mean? Because I always didn't stay at jobs long. So, but it ended up being good because I'm an entrepreneur. Now, if I was a working person and working in America, then it would have been bad probably, because I wouldn't have had like a concentration or a focus. You know what I mean? But in entrepreneurship, all the experience you can get, the better, because entrepreneurs have to know a little bit about everything. We're not specialists. You know what I mean? Specialists, they might be a floor technician. You know what I mean? Or they might specialize in a certain thing, stripping, wax, blah, blah, blah. Entrepreneurs, we don't specialize in one thing. We know a little bit about everything, and then we hire specialists and manage those specialists. You know what I mean? So that's how it works. But so my 3 tips is, number 1, find you some type of mentor or somebody that can teach you the ropes of the line of business that you're trying to go. Number 2, partner up. Don't settle down, but partner up. Find you a good partner. Get you a Gina. You know what I mean? That's going to ride with you through the journey if you can. And then number 3, fail. Fail, and fuck up often. Do it a lot. Start early and get out there and fail. If you're a young kid just getting out of high school and you want to be an entrepreneur, don't go to school. Don't go to school. Don't go to school and go get into debt and then and all of that for no reason, because you don't need a degree to be an entrepreneur. Now, I do know that some people go to school, right? They go to like a community college or something. And when you go to community college, sometimes you'll get like a check, a refund check, after, I guess, the difference between the loan that you got and the cost of your tuition at the end of the semester or something like that. I never done it, so I don't really know, but I know plenty of people who have gotten those checks. If you want to do that, I don't see anything wrong with that, because that's a guaranteed loan, because you can't get a loan when you're young like that. And you can't go, like, you don't have a house, so you can't pull the equity out of anything. If you're coming from the bottom like me, you don't have family that you can borrow money from. You know what I mean? And you don't have anything. You probably don't own a car that's worth anything that you can borrow against. So going to school and getting that refund check back wouldn't be bad. You know what I mean? If you're going to invest it. But just understand that you're going to have to pay that money back at some point. But if you're going to invest that money, then I don't see anything wrong with that. But you need to understand that you're going to have to pay it back at some point. And the good thing about those loans, too, not only are they guaranteed, but you can also defer them. Now, some people going to get mad at me for putting that information out there. Some people going to say, oh, you're just robbing the government and taxpayers have to pay for that and all of that. I mean, teach his own, but when you coming from nothing, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? We can't take the traditional methods. We got to find back doors, loopholes, and all of that. So, but those are my three tips, y'all. So I hope that helps. And I hope that helps you understand, too, like this. I didn't just buy a franchise and then automatically become franchise owner of the year after just 2 years of being in the business. No, they're like, it didn't work like that. I done this before. I fucked up a lot. You know what I mean? So it was a lot that came with it with me. I wasn't just this God-given talent guy. You know what I mean? I just automatically went to the top and I just bought in, like, because if you go back and look at my YouTube from the beginning, you'll see before I even had a franchise. You'll see when I was still at the shipyard. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, 2 years later, I'm Mr. Franchise Owner of the Year, honorable mention and all that stuff. I'm winning awards, and it's like, damn, how is he doing that? Like, but you gotta understand, I went through a lot to get to this point. So I just want to make sure I put this information out here so you can understand the journey that it's gonna take. And like, so I'm 28. I done dated y'all back all the way. It's basically 10 years in. I mean, because I started early. I started clean when I was 17, so that's 11 years, really, of equity that I put into this. It don't happen overnight. It don't happen in a year or two. You know what I mean? There's a lot that took me to get to this point, and still at this point, I ain't really doing anything yet. So that's just some motivation and some understanding, some deeper knowledge that help you understand what it takes to get here. So thank you guys for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, and excuse me, not what it takes to get here, but what it takes to be successful, because really, you ain't nowhere yet. You know, I got a long ways to go still. So I'm losing my voice. I've been working. I've been getting it. But thank y'all for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Please share. Thank y'all. AJ Simmons.